Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
With jet engines still whirring behind him, journalist Evan Gershkovich swept Mom Ella in the air at a poignant reunion marking the end of 491 days held in Russian captivity. Moments earlier he had whispered, "Thank you," in U.S. President Joe Biden's ear after landing on home soil following an astonishing behind-the-scenes game of political chess. Held in Russia on trumped-up charges, Evan finally left his 9 feet by 12-foot jail cell, where he had spent 23 hours a day in solitary confinement, on Thursday morning. The 32-year-old was flown on a Soviet plane to an airport in Ankara, Turkey, where, looking bewildered, he was escorted across the tarmac and put on a flight to Germany, then on to America, where he was finally able to embrace his expectant family. The Wall Street Journal reporter was freed in a surprising East-West exchange of 24 people following a highly secretive operation that involved 7 nations. The historic swap saw Evan and 16 others traded for 8 Russian prisoners in the biggest exchange of its kind since the Cold War era. Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny was meant to be part of this week's landmark deal but died in Russian custody in February, believed murdered on the orders of Putin. Evan's release, with fellow U.S. prisoners ex-Marine Paul Whelan and radio journalist Alsa Kermasheva, came after spies and diplomats crisscrossed countries to do the deal. It is a tale worthy of a James Bond movie but, at its heart, Evan's release is a story of a mother's unrelenting love and determination. Ella Millman has fought tirelessly to free her son, organizing media campaigns, working with diplomats and personally lobbying Joe Biden and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who courted controversy with the release of a high-profile assassin in the deal. Before their long-awaited reunion, the family said, "We have waited 491 days for Evan's release and it's hard to describe what today feels like. We can't wait to give him the biggest hug and see his sweet and brave smile close up." Evan's release is being lauded around the world at a time when tensions between Russia and the West are at an all-time high following the invasion of Ukraine. But his liberty came at a cost, as President Putin's henchman, hitman Vadim Krasikov, who gunned down an ex-Russian rebel in broad daylight in Berlin in 2019, was let out of jail as part of the deal. After the cold-blooded shooting of Chechen-Georgian dissident Zelimkin Kangashvili, 40, witnesses saw Krasikov hurriedly change clothes, shave off his beard and ditch a wig. The judge in his case described the killing as state terrorism, and said the order had almost certainly come from Putin himself. The deal also involved the release of Artem and Anna Dulcev, Spanish-speaking spies living in Slovenia whose 2 young children had been in foster care since their 2022 arrest, oblivious to the fact they were Russian until they were met off a plane in Moscow by Putin last night. It is a rare occurrence when a reporter becomes part of the story, but Evan's extraordinary resilience and determination meant he never lost his lust for journalism. When he was told to write a request for clemency to Putin before he left his Russian prison cell, he asked the despot if he would agree to a future interview. Evan's ordeal began while working for the Wall Street Journal, a sister paper of our channel, 1,500 miles from Moscow in Ekaterinburg, where he was reporting on Russian repression. He was at a steakhouse in March 2023 when he was grabbed by agents from FSB, the Russian Secret Service, who accused him of spying for the CIA. He ended up in Moscow's notorious Lefortovo prison. When he wasn't in his cell, Evan was taken to a bare interrogation room, where 2 portraits of Putin hung on the walls, and questioned by Chief FSB investigator Alexei Kizniak. The sessions would stretch for hours. Yet, typical of great journalists, Evan found a way to connect with his interrogator, learning they shared a passion for football and literature. Kizniak was a fan of Liverpool while Evan supported rivals Arsenal, whose fans delighted him by holding up banners of support. The unlikely pair also discussed books such as Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace and Vasily Grossman's Life and Fate. But nothing could stop Putin from enacting his revenge on the West by jailing Evan. Last month he was given a 16-year sentence for spying, on fake